Alright guys, so it has been a minute. I've just been, well, head down, getting on with just, there's a lot to do with this game. There's a lot to grind now, so I've just been kind of, yeah, grinding away, having fun with KANAE, trying her out, seeing how good she is, between her and Suhyun, of course, and whatnot. So this is kind of where I've got her at. I did give her a little bit of defense penetration, so I am... Okay, my overall thoughts on this character is I absolutely love her, right? When it comes to offensiveness, her damage output, it is disgusting. To put it as lightly, it is disgusting, alright? So in that terms, I mean, yeah, she's worth. But there are key things about her where I'm just like, damn, Suhyun does have the upper hand, especially taking into consideration game weight and whatnot. But giving you guys a rundown on what I've got her at, so obviously her weapon is 2 dupes off from being completely done as per usual. Got her to level 7 across the board, but I will probably do her ultimate and her 2 skills up, and maybe her core just a little bit. So in the once I have resources, kind of went crazy on the advanced mana crystals, but yeah, completely duped out, of course. Gear set wise, if you're wondering on what you want to look out for, you can do curse, you can do expert. Expert I would say is highly recommended for the accessory side, of course. You can do a full curse set, you can do 2 curse and 2 one-shot kill. The ultimate set, basically, so you can do 2-2. You do not need to do the armed set because she doesn't need any type of defense pen or anything like that. So yeah, that's so yeah, expert, curse, one shot, and I think as of right now, that's what I would suggest in terms of building her. And then from that point on, attack, critical hit rate, critical hit damage is kind of what you're catering to. But like I said, with myself, I tried to kind of play around with it, trying to push more support. Let me just tell you, this is the slight disadvantage play between her and Suhyun, is the team. Okay, in a situation where the enemy has high defense, Suhyun's going to be the better character, but yeah, KANAE does out damage at times, so I'm just going to put that out. And then in terms of where the core, I basically just took off Suhyun's core to put it onto a KANAE, of course. I was pushing the agenda for the defense pen, kind of forcefully putting it onto her to see if it would help. It doesn't help. Boys, attack, critical hit rate, critical hit damage, just cater to that. Completely forget about defense pen, which is very awkward because that's kind of like the main meta for the fire element. So that's why that's my biggest disadvantage play for KANAE, is that, you know, because she's not got that defense plan going in, it does give Suhyun that upper hand. So in terms of like the workshop Brilliant Light, I am utilizing my Suhyun over KANAE, just putting it out there. Alright, so again, there are certain situations and scenarios where Suhyun is still going to be viable, but for example, like Guild Boss, Power of Destructions, what else? Is there anything else? You know, other like regular fights you can capitalize on using KANAE, but like Workshop Brilliant Light, in this situation, I would say Suhyun's going to be taking the cake. But anywho, here she is. She is one hell of a character. So that attack right there, if the enemy does attack me as I'm in mid-air, it will automatically activate Extreme Evasion. My game just froze on me. There's the core, and then of course it will always correlate to the second skill always being active, so that way we can keep up the stages. As you guys know, there's always that. There's the enhancement of skill 2, 3, 3, 5. Those are the stages, of course. We can jump up, dash, and then we can just kind of build that up, of course. And the key thing about this unit, on why a lot of people are head over heels for this unit, is the fact that, as you guys are seeing, she just doesn't stop. She just doesn't stop. And then the ultimate's at the ready. And the ultimate does do it again if you can build this up too, especially if you have the 2 girls with you. So that was what, 4 million on her own. So yeah, this is why everyone's just adoring this character. And again, this was kind of expected just from reading her initial kit. I mean, I kind of called it to say that this unit is a spam attacking type character. Now, with the spam attack coming into play, you know, as you guys can see, the MP decrease is there, right? So that's also something to take note of. So even though spamming skills is crazy and all, once that MP has run out, there have been times where I'm just like, oh, okay, this isn't good. So again, Suhyun in my eyes does get that little bit of upper hand because you can keep a very good rotation with her compared to with KANAE. The rotation for KANAE will be a bit, in my opinion, not as good as Suhyun. I should clarify, long-term wise, where there's longevity, Suhyun's rotation play will be a lot better. Short-term wise, KANAE is just gonna feast. She's gonna dog on him. It's going to be crazy. So, in that term, yes. But yeah, in that terms, yes. That's one thing which I just kind of wanted to. Wait, why is she still here? Oh, I was gonna say, why is she still here? So just kind of maximizing. Wait, oh, okay, well, let's just get into the boss. But yeah, she does an absurd amount of damage. Again, knowing the spammy skill character that she is, and that she was kind of going to be like a 2.0 Amamiya. Yeah, people are enjoying her time. Obviously for Guild Boss, I know I've seen a lot of people saying that she's outdoing Thomas, or on Thomas's level basically. So when it comes to the squad, it's just yeah. You can do like 10 mil with this character, like 13 mil. It's insane on what you can build up. If so in terms of on whether or not if she's actually worth the summon, to put it lightly, she does require a little bit of a high investment. You know, I've said it when it came to me summoning. You know, her sweet spot is A3, A4. I mean, realistically, you do want to kind of max her out, especially if you've got Gina and Azel around the A3 above margin or A4. Then, of course, at that point, you really want to high invest into KANAE, of course, knowing what's to come. Is it really worth it? Suhyun is still viable. I mean, I'll give it KANAE will out damage and have the upper hand in majority of the modes themselves, and that's kind of a given. But Suhyun low-key is still holding her own. She's still viable. She's still, you know, do the deed in terms of, you know, workshop, brilliant light, and even modes that KANAE does have the advantage to play on. You can still utilize Suhyun, of course. I mean, you won't in a situation where it's like the Ant Queen, where you're trying to do more damage and out damage it, and to kind of hold your part in terms of contributing, I guess. Obviously, those that have KANAE will have the upper hand, but in those situations, if you don't really care for it, if you're not too bothered, then again, I'm still seeing a lot of value to behold for Suhyun, in all honesty. So KANAE is fantastic. She's crazy. Again, with how Amamiya came about, KANAE is kind of doing the same thing. Her damage is ridiculous. She does require higher investment. Her MP loss is kind of a bit of a bummer, but at the same time, short burst, crazy amount of damage at the very beginning. Short-term fight, she's going to go absolutely crazy for. She is one hell of a DPS character that's now in the game. So again, there's downsides, there's upsides to her. I can see them both. So is she worth the summon? Yes, she absolutely is. If you're committed to get high investment on her, go for it. If you're not, stick with Suhyun. Let KANAE drop in the custom draw banner, and you do just as fine. It really just depends on what content you're trying to tackle, of course. So like when it comes to, I mean, again, Suhyun is still viable. That's the one thing which I'm just trying to push, but it just comes down to whether or not people want to commit and work on. But the build is different. Obviously, I did a little bit of defense penetration. That's the wrong way to go about it. Just fully commit to attack and crit. Suhyun, on the other hand, is more for the defense pen. She works well with the two girls. Not to say that the two girls don't work with good KANAE. It's just the whole defense penetration meta. Yeah. But overall, Azel, Gina, if you got them to A3, A4, of course, then you can really benefit from them working with one another in terms of coming together with KANAE to do that little bit more damage. I say a little bit more damage. It's a lot more damage, so there's that. But that's kind of like my thoughts of things on me utilizing this character, playing on different modes and whatnot, and just kind of getting a vibe for it. So she's one hell of a character. High amount of damage to gain from this character. It is stupid the numbers that people are producing with KANAE. So kind of a given, kind of expected. So there's that. But yeah, there are some drawbacks, and pairing her up between Suhyun still holds some good value. So I wouldn't make it so that KANAE is a must summon. I don't think she's a must. I think you can quite comfortably get through what you need to get through with Suhyun. So I think that will ease up the pressure of capitalizing on getting her through the custom draw banner at a later time. So that way you can maximize on what's to come, aka Goto Yoruji, the mystery character in between Goto Yoruji and the first year anniversary. So that's just more for the free-to-play peeps out there that don't really want to go. I mean, unless you want to pull the initial copy, you're more than welcome to. At the very lowest, try and get it to A1, like get that extra dupe on. But A3, I will say, is kind of like the sweet spot. Although A4, where the whole fire element can get that little buff, that's also nice. Hence why I say she is a character that does need higher amount of investment. So, but anyway, that's my final opinion on how I feel about the character and why I deem her to be. And yeah, is she worth the summon? 100%. If you're in it for the high investment, go for it. If not, don't bother. I'll say pull back. You still got a season who's doing well. But if you want to go for the initial copy just to kind of get the ball rolling, yeah, you can do so. We all mind to say no, you know. But that's kind of my thoughts on things. But she is one hell of a character. I am having way too much fun with her.